The Q101 Morning Crew.
On Q101.
It's Q101.
Ahoy! Let's go! We're waking up Chicago. Turn up the radio. It's time to start the show. On Q101 with the Morning Crew. Ahoy! Let's go! Welcome to the morning show.
Let's go. It is 6:06, 33 degrees. Hasn't been this warm in a while, but there is a problem out there, as we'll get to in a second, with the slick roads. So be really, really careful out there if you're going out. Doesn't look slick, and I don't want you just like going out of your driveway and running into the neighbor's car. So it's really bad. Be careful. There's some school closings. Check on those if you have kids. And coming up this morning, 7 a.m., less than an hour away, your first shot at Fallout Boy in Los Angeles. No! It's a great trip. You get out of here and all this slickness. There's no road slickness in California. I mean, there's landslides and earthquakes and...
I think a landslide would count as road slickness.
Yeah.
Not a lot of traction in a landslide.
When you see like 8 tons of dirt coming toward you on the highway.
It's like dirt surfing. It's different.
Yeah.
It's not an extreme sport. It's not in the X Games.
Well, at least you can be warm while it happens.
That's fair. No argument for me.
I was going to say, should we say it's not a good trip now? Or...
No landslides will happen while you're in LA for Fallout Boy.
You can't guarantee that.
I can't.
You can't tell people that. There might be an earthquake too. Boy, this trip sounds really bad now.
Oh, jeez. Did you just shut up, Ryan?
So 7 a.m. Fallout Boy, our guys in LA, and you get a $100 gift card just for qualifying. Plus in Clash with Kenzie in about an hour, 7:10. Avett Brothers tickets for Alpine Valley. That is huge. And then Kenzie Crimes at 8:20. Deep dive into a local crime mystery.
Ooh, and I'm excited. Challenge accepted, by the way, on Kenzie's Crimes.
What does that mean?
It means that yesterday we brought up somebody, I want to tiptoe around it,
Yeah.
but somebody that you wouldn't expect to be involved in the crime, then being involved in the crime.
Oh.
I don't want to say it because then if I'm telling the story, maybe you'd piece it together. I don't want that to happen.
Okay. All
but
right.
challenge accepted.
All
so
right.
suck on that. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, suck on that, Brian.
I'm going to suck on that. That's at 8:20. Don't save that, by the way. Do not save that line. So, we're all here ready to go, but Case, the producer, had a harrowing morning. Speaking of the slick roads out there and why you should be careful. He got in a CTA bus accident.
That sounds so weird to say it like that.
I didn't know. I didn't want people thinking you were taking like the yellow school bus over here.
Well, like the short bus?
Yeah, when you were saying like you take the school bus or take the bus into work.
Why would a school bus show up to our job?
I think for some reason I picture a yellow school bus picking up Case and bringing him into work every day.
He's like our little nugget. That's why.
So tell us what happened, Case.
So I live in Uptown, and we work downtown at NBC Tower. So normally it takes me about a half hour from the time I get on the bus to the time I get to the building every morning. And I knew we were in trouble when I stepped out my front door this morning, and I have a downhill driveway, and I slid from the front door to the bus stop. I felt like Christy Yamaguchi, and it was like no steps involved.
Wow, good reference.
Thank you. I was purely ice skating out there. It was unbelievable.
So that got you to the bus stop.
That got me to the bus stop where I was hanging onto a no parking pole so that I wouldn't slip anymore, because even the sidewalk where I live was a little uneven.
Yeah.
And I was afraid that if I let go at the wrong time, I would fall into the street and the bus would hit me.
Oh,
That's not what happened.
that would have been so good for ratings, Kenzie, right?
Oh, I really wish we had video of that. Is there a Ring doorbell attached or anything?
Yeah, you live in luxury apartments. They got any cameras out front?
No, we need our building keeps on getting broken into. It's like a whole
Maybe that's
thing.
why they left the ice. They're trying to deter. It's like Home Alone because they can't afford a security system.
Like sometimes I come home and the front door to the apartment building is just busted. It's hard to explain. It's bad.
No, you explained it right. It's
Like-
just people breaking in there.
Does that make you mad? Are you ever just like, you could just ask me to hold open the door instead of breaking the door?
I don't care. Right? There's nothing good in there, you know.
no.
So I move past it.
Your
So-
record collection's in there.
Yeah, but then they gotta find my place, and then they're gonna look through my records and go, I don't want these. This sucks. I don't want all these Morrissey albums.
All these sad albums in here. God.
Oh, good. Lemonhead's awesome.
Terrible.
So I get on the bus. And I mean, we make it maybe a mile and a half. And the first bus I was on, spoiler, I was on 2 different buses, was driven by a very old lady. And
Yeah.
she's nice. She drives the bus a lot. She's a very nice lady. But we turn the corner, and she slides off the road into a curb. Just immediately, full panic, no control.
Jeez.
We hit the curb. There's about 7 people on the bus, and, we feel it, we notice it. It's never happened to me before. It's a very odd situation to be in because CTA buses, in my mind, are kind of indestructible.
Sure.
But we slide off the road, and I feel bad for this old lady because she immediately panicked. Stands up. I can't do this. I don't feel safe. Somebody else is going to have to come get you guys.
Jeez.
So, I was
She rage quit right there on the.
it was a panic. It was a pure panic in a way that I empathize with greatly because I really felt bad for her. But
Wow.
at this point, I'm not worried. I'm like, second bus will come. I'll get on the bus. Whatever, no big deal. I look at Uber prices. They're $50. I'm like, I'm staying put.
Jeez.
So we have to wait about 20 minutes for the second bus to come. I almost fall getting on the second bus. It's a whole ordeal just to transfer buses.
I would die for some camera of this. I would die for it.
That bus, the photos on Facebook, that bus goes literally about 20 feet.
Yeah.
The old bus is in the background, clear as day. You don't even have to squint to see it. It's just, there's 2 buses on the street. The bus driver on the second bus, a younger man, stops in the middle of the road and says, I am done. I cannot do this. You guys need someone else to drive you.
God, so he quit too.
He rage quit.
Jeez.
And
I gotta be honest though. This is what confuses me about this. Is he had to drive all the way there first?
I know. Thank you.
So why on the way was he not like, I don't think this is a good idea? I understand being like, this is just too dangerous.
Yes.
But how did he make it all the way to the bus, load you guys up, and then go, you know what?
I'm done.
I wasn't panicked at all on the first bus. As soon as I got on the second bus and it wasn't going any better, I thought, this is a real problem. I don't know how I'm going to get to work. So he rage quits. And at that point, I see the Uber prices have shot back down again. And I have to shout out my man in a Toyota Prius who took me here, dropped me off safely. Normally, I get annoyed on the off chance that Uber drivers aren't listening to Q101 on the radio.
Yeah.
He was listening to K-Love, the Christian rock station.
Oh.
Praise him. We were saying prayers in the car together, and we made it here safely. Everybody's okay, but please, please be careful out there if you have to leave your house today.
Yeah, it's not good.
God.
It's not good. Wow, what a story.
I'm exhausted.
Yeah.
It was a long. It was
Hey,
4
Brian, don't
a.m.
you
was a long
drive
hour.
past where Case lives, you jerk?
I do drive past his house every day on the way into work, but we come in at different times. I get in a little earlier than him.
Brian likes his alone time. I don't want to intrude on his morning routine.
I really
Well,
need.
yeah, but you almost died. So, like, in fairness.
You know what's messed up is that I told Brian, I said, hey, I'm going to be late, bus crash, whatever. I said, Ubers are $50. Brian texts me back. He goes, well, I'll pick you up for $25.
Yeah, I'll come back and do that. Make a little profit on this. I could do this. I had the Nissan Rogue handled the ice fine. I mean, I slipped a little
Four-wheel
bit.
drive.
Yeah, that VersaTrack. I ended up adjusting very nicely.
There you go.
I don't know why a CTA bus can't do that. They weigh about 18 tons.
My thought initially was, well, I'd rather be on the bus that's built like a tank than just some guy's Uber. I'd rather be in a bus than
Right.
a car. But after 2 bus failures, I had to pivot.
Well,
Damn.
think about turning though. Like you gotta swing that back end.
Yeah.
That's a lot. Like, okay, you know how like for you and I, we have 4-wheel drive, right?
Right.
Me and you, Brian. Now, like, you know how like it fishtails a little, but it'll catch.
Yep.
Imagine when a bus fishtail, like how much is swanging.
Yeah. That badonkadonk is out
This
there
is a
just.
dragging a wagon. What do you want to do?
The Q101 Morning Crew.
On Q101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101 and getting to a time for a fact that makes your brain go. Chicago is number one again. Number one again in something. And we've had a lot of number ones, and some are good, some are bad. I can't really give too much of a hint on this one. I'll just tell you, think about something, recently. And actually, it's a repeat number one for Chicago on this one. So you can think about it during the break here. We'll let you know at 6:30 what it is. I'm not going to say whether it's good or bad, or I don't know if, Kenzie, you want to try to guess on at this point of something, but,
Okay. What could Chicago be number one in that's unexpected?
I'd say yes. For me personally, it's unexpected to me.
It's unexpected. Number one.
Yeah.
I don't know, like the most pornos are filmed here. Because I wouldn't think that because it's so chilly.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Right?
It's good to be warm when doing porn.
I think so. It makes you're more limber. That's why you do yoga in warm places.
Oh, yeah, those old football injuries come up in the cold and arthritis and stuff like that.
Maybe that.
Could be that. It could be that. We'll take a guess at 312-591-8300 when we come back. We'll give you that fact that Chicago, we're number one. good or bad, we'll give it to you.
The Q101 Morning Crew.
On Q101.
The Q101 Morning Crew.
On Q101.
All right, time for a fact that makes your brain just go. For 4 years in a row, Chicago, you've been number one in this category. And that category, I said it could be good, it could be bad. We have a lot of great things here. Amazing museums. The skyline is the best in the country without doubt. We got the lakes. We got all kinds of great stuff here. But we're number one in bed bugs. Bed bugs.
But no, that's New York.
No, it's not. Now, they're number two, but we are, for the 4th year in a row, this is done by Orkin, the people that get rid of bed bugs and all kinds of stuff in your house. So Chicago number one in bed bugs. And I'm with you. I'm a little surprised if this continues. I don't want to sound bougie or privileged, but I've never had a bed bug. Have you had a bed bug?
I haven't had a bed bug.
All
Why
right,
would
good.
that make you bougie?
I don't know, I mean, because I had a rat run across my apartment one time. And
Well, he was probably eating all your bed bugs.
maybe. It'd be great if rats ate bed bugs. And Chicago also is number one with rats, too. So I had a rat problem once, but I've never had a bed bug issue. Case, the producer, I know you live in luxury apartments now, but you didn't always live that way. Did you ever have a bed bug?
I've never had a bed bug. They scare me. I'm constantly worried about them whenever I stay in a hotel, but I've never had them.
It's funny you say that because when I would travel, and that's usually where they find bed bugs in like hotels and stuff, and then bring
Yeah,
them.
usually the more traffic, the more, the higher the likelihood, which is why it's super weird it's not New York. It's a bigger city.
Yeah.
I would argue that it's more transient than Chicago is, like so many business stops.
Yeah. Well,
I'm surprised.
I used to, and I learned, I just saw this like in a magazine once to do it. Like when you come back from a trip, instantly unpack your bag right into your washer. Don't let the clothes go in the hamper. And I used to take my shoes, anything I took on the trip, I'd throw it into the washer and then wash them right away to kill the bed bugs that you might have got in a hotel. Because even really nice hotels have bed bugs.
I mean, I've had friends who have lived in New York, like moved to New York for school or whatever, and they definitely, in more than one scenario, had to like leave their apartment building for a month because of bed bugs. Well, they they did like the big bug bomb in the building. Like
Yeah.
that's completely happened to people that I know, and it just sounds like a nightmare. And I'm really shocked that would be Chicago.
I know.
We do things different here. Built different.
Little nibble.
A little nibbly. You're asleep. So it goes Chicago, New York, Philadelphia, Cleveland, Akron area, LeBron's hood.
Is it his fault they have bed bugs?
Maybe. He did grow up in Akron and then played in Cleveland. Los Angeles.
He spread them.
Yeah. We should start that rumor that LeBron started
He's
bed
a super
bugs.
spreader.
Yeah, he's of bed bugs.
Then he brought him to Miami.
Well, listen, the cities that he's been in, of course, well, he's been in all the cities for traveling with NBA teams, but he's in LA now, and LA's got bed bugs. They're in the list. Detroit, DC, Indianapolis, Charlotte, and then for some reason, Champaign, Illinois rounds out the top 10.
What?
So it's all big cities, like you said, Kenzie, about travelers and things like that. But how did Champaign, Illinois sneak in there?
I am.
College students not washing their, mattress pads or sheets
I know,
enough?
no, that's disgusting. It makes me not want to go there. You know what's funny is that, you know how France just had that, Paris, France just had that big bed bug boom. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Kind of, it was a few months ago, but it was everywhere. Where it's you shouldn't even travel there. And one of the boss of our news station, the PD of the news station, so not our boss, but somebody's boss, went there, and she brought me back candy. And I was nervous to eat the candy as if it would then give me bed bugs. I don't know why, but I just seen all these stories. I'm I don't know, man.
If you ate the candy, got pregnant with a bed bug?
I left it.
She's not a comic book character, Brian.
It's like the movie The Fly with Jeff Goldblum, where all of a sudden, ew.
Well, my favorite
Gross.
bed bug story, or my favorite bed bug there ever was the smug bed bug from The Office. Do you remember this?
Yes.
My brother has a smug bed bug tattooed on him
He
because of
does?
that TV show. Yes.
Feels excessive. I like the joke, but that feels like a lot.
Isn't that-
I know. He's one of those people who will he just likes tattoos.
Does he
So
have a ton?
he has a lot of them.
Oh, okay, so it's not like an unusual, that's the only tattoo he has.
No, it's not the only one. He definitely has. He's funny with his tattoos. I remember one day he was leaving, and I'm like, "Where are you going?" And he goes, she's getting highlights. And I'm like, okay, he had like a girl on his arm.
Oh my
And he
God.
literally, he added highlights to her hair. I'm like, okay. But he got a smug bedbug because tattoo shops do like a lot of different promos, like a free tattoo day for, this TV show or this fandom or $5 tattoos, or there's always something like that, right? Going on. And they did like an office day where all the tattoos were like $5.
Oh boy.
And they had a list of ones you could get, and it's this little marching bed bug. Like he's like a military hat on, and he's marching, and that's what my brother chose to be on his body forever.
Now, is it on his neck?
No, it's on his arm. Not on his neck.
I picture like on his stomach, like some kind of like a very like a metal tattoo, like the metal guys have the tattoos on their stomachs like that.
across the chest?
Yeah, something like that. Or a family crest tattoo, the bed bug.
I like the idea of a smug bedbug in Old English fonts across his chest. I think that'd be a very good look.
I don't even know, like, does he have them across his chest? I'm trying to remember where. I know he has them on both arms, but like, I guess I don't see my brother shirtless a lot. I don't know what's under there.
If you could have him text you a picture of his bed bug, we could post it on Facebook.
Okay, I'll text him right now.
That'd be amazing. Also, this is scary. Brian just texted in 773, said, do not sit on the furniture at the mall. They're covered in bed bugs. And then you'll bring them back to your house. Ew.
That's fair, though. It's a weird move to be sitting at a mall.
Well, it's usually the old
That's not true. I always buy a pretzel and sit.
There you go.
I love buying a pretzel and sitting. Shut up, Case.
Yeah. Stop ruining fun, Case.
I didn't know
God, I
Casey was
can't
gonna
have anything.
have a response like that.
You were gonna go on a rant that it's always the old guys sitting there because they're waiting for their wives shopping and the chairs at the mall.
Yeah, like I worked at Water Tower Place, so I saw a lot of characters.
Well, then you've seen me sit with a pretzel on for sure.
That's right. That's right.
The Q101 Morning Crew.
On Q101.
The Q101 Morning Crew.
On Q101.
Just a reminder, about 15 minutes away from 7 a.m., and that's your chance to go see Fall Out Boy in Los Angeles, a trip from Brian and Kenzie and Q101, and you get $100 a Visa gift card just for qualifying. 7 a.m. You don't need to know anything. Just make sure you're listening right there at 7 a.m. So Snoop Dogg was offered $100 million, or at least said he could make $100 million if he did this, and his wife said, nah, you're not doing it.
Ooh, his wife jumped in. That's my kind of woman.
That's right. And what it was going on OnlyFans and showing his thingy. So that's what they said. Now, to your point, we talked about OnlyFans a lot and how at one point Kenzie was on there where they did kind of a content creation thing of not getting naked and not doing porn.
They wanted local celebrities. They wanted celebrities. They wanted content creators because they wanted to go mainstream because you make a lot more money when you're a mainstream app.
Yeah.
So they were paying people to use the app.
And then what did people DM you and message you to do?
Yeah, they were like, "Why aren't you naked? Take your top off. When are you gonna have a sex day?" I'm like, I'm not enjoying this experience. I'm like, it's just a funny video my husband and I did. It's actually not a porno. So we ended up just deleting it.
I know the internet is anonymous, but just to have your name on something saying, why aren't you naked?
It was really like confidently. Like, you don't understand.
He has no consequences. There's no repercussions from him saying that, but I wouldn't want my name sent to somebody saying, why aren't you naked?
It was very uncomfortable for me after a while.
So Snoop wouldn't do it, and his wife said no. And I'm not necessarily sure if he really wanted to do it. At this point, by the time OnlyFans arrived in the last several years, he already has hundreds of millions of dollars. So another 100 to show your thing out there, and he has kids, and his wife he's been with since high school. I don't know. I think she's a great woman for saying the no on that instead of just taking the bag,
I mean, I think she just has a ton of money, and she's like, no, it's not going to happen.
Well, at some point, what's enough? Like, he does have, I haven't looked at his net worth up, actually. I know he's got to have a couple $100 million. He's got to.
I'll look at it right now.
He's got to have a couple $100 million. And I know, sure, you'd want another $100 million, but do you want your thing out there everywhere for that? Just to do that when you don't have to?
Would you post your thing for $100 million?
Well, I'm not in his situation.
Why? His net worth is $160 million.
Okay. Yeah, pretty good for Snoop. Pretty good.
I do think there's a Snoop Dogg oversaturation a little bit. Like, I love Snoop Dogg, and listen, if people are going to keep paying you to do things, that's on them, right? Like,
Right.
So I get it. But I'm like, he doesn't have to do everything. You know, it's just
Yeah.
like he's just everywhere. I'm like, I don't want to see his penis. Like, I'm over it.
Case, do you want to see his penis?
I do a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Morbid curiosity, right?
Oh, it's Snoop.
Why?
There's a lot of people's penises that I'd like to see out of sheer curiosity. It's
Just
Snoop-
to like compare.
Yeah, just to know what they look like, because every penis is different. And Snoop Dogg is not at the top of the list, but he's also not at the bottom.
Would you think it was big or small?
I would think Snoop Dogg's packing.
He's like 6'5", you know. He's a
Yeah,
big,
he's
tall
like a
dude.
big dude.
Yeah, he's a tall dude.
It doesn't always mean anything.
Oh, yeah?
Not always. No.
Would it
That
be
is
like,
a fable.
like Snoop kind of carries himself like he's doing okay.
Yeah.
It would kill the Snoop Dogg aura. Even now, like commercialized Snoop, you wouldn't be able to enjoy that or the Nothing But a G Thing video if you found out that he was very, very small.
Listen.
Small D energy. I'm
Yeah.
gonna say something though. It is suspicious because I think he's done lots of things and not cared about his wife's opinion over because they're high school sweethearts. I think he's gotten better, but I think young Snoop was not super worried about his wife's feelings all the time, and maybe he does have a small penis, and he's like, well, I'm just here to respect my wife. I can't sign up for OnlyFans.
I'll smoke weed at the White House, but I ain't pulling my thingy out. My
I,
wife's
mean,
smoking.
I think he does a lot of things she wouldn't have been okay with. Like, hey, remember when you were sleeping with a million video girls? Like, all of a sudden, now we respect her opinion.
I think, well, if you have a relationship where you have certain rules in place, then, you know, Snoop's living his life. This is where the rules were set in place, and he's following those rules. I think Snoop's a great husband.
I think
he is now. I honestly do. Like, they have kids. He's matured. He's been around it for, like, a long time, the fame and stuff. I'm sure he is now. But they're high school sweethearts. So you think about Snoop blowing up for the first time and being part of the group he was part of. I would be surprised if he was, like, a scholar and a gentleman in that relationship at the very beginning.
Did you see Straight Outta Compton? Did you watch that
Yes.
movie? Yeah. There's a hotel scene looking like.
That was awesome. What are you, Chris Farley? What are you gonna say?
Well, but to be fair, in the movie, Snoop wasn't there. It was just the NWA was there in the hotel room. But even though they were all friends. That's where he started with them, with Dre.
Hey, Snoop was home with his wife.
yeah,
Hey.
yeah, he was.
He was cuddling with his wife.
He was
Yeah,
washing the
we
sheets.
didn't have time for the shenanigans.
He's washing the sheets so they don't have bed bugs. He's at home doing that.
He's a family man.
Yeah, I honestly think I think Snoop is honorable. Like you just said, they were high school sweethearts, his wife, and they got married in '97. And it says they went toward a divorce at one point in 2004, but then they reconciled, maybe like Kobe, and got a 6-carat ring for his wife or something like that after Colorado. And then they got good all of a sudden. I don't know.
See, even Kobe, who was like, oh my God, he loved his wife. He loved his wife. Like, at the very beginning, at the young age, when the like temptation first started, you're first on the season, like he messed up too, you know?
Yep.
So
Yeah.
I think that's I think that if you're with someone before they're famous and then they become super famous, unless it happens when they're like a really grown adult already with kids, but if you're going through that like in your 20s,
Yeah.
you're probably gonna have to go through the hard way.
I mean, the temptation's got to be out of control, but you love that person. A lot of people, you talk to athletes, they'll say, well, I love my wife. I have kids with her. This is just to get me through the season.
Yeah, they're like, this has nothing to do with that. Well, it does a little bit.
They're kind of related. To put a close on this, 847 texted and said, I would post my package for a 6-pack of PBR and a pack of Camels.
Huh.
We can make that happen.
I can literally go down to
What, do you want to see
7-Eleven.
this person's penis too, Case? Jeez Louise.
I mean, you could start their case and then work up to Snoop's, but he's not going on, of course, OnlyFans. Listen, we're 10 minutes away from your chance to see Fall Out Boy in L.A., so stay right here with Brian and Kenzie on Q101 Plus Sports coming up. Here's Go Curtis.
This is not headline news. Yesterday was Squirrel Appreciation Day. Some people appreciate them as cute little animals, but people in West Virginia appreciate them as entrees. Kate Middleton will do her royal work from bed while she recovers from abdominal surgery, which means several times a day her assistant will take video of her waving. Exorcist star Linda Blair turned 65 today. Linda looks great at 65. She's still a head-turner. Steve Perry turned 75 today. Perry says he plans to celebrate his birthday any way he wants it because that's the way he needs it. And Sports Illustrated can no longer afford to publish its magazine, which won't make a difference at your dentist's office because their subscription apparently ended in 2004. This is not headline news.
The Q101 Morning Crew.
On Q101.